Okay, so today I'm going to do some black walnut harvesting from the black walnut tree. And there's some pretty nice black walnuts. I need to get some gloves on because these things create a very dark color in your fingers once you pick them. So I'm going to get some gloves on, and then we're going to do some black harvesting of the black walnut harvesting of the black walnut tree. There's one that's fallen down, and this is what the black walnut tree looks like. There used to be a bunch of weeds and poison ivy that I cut off last year, so it's a lot more better growth, and you got a lot healthier black walnuts. And with these black walnuts, you can make chocolate chip cookies with them with black walnut. So that's what we're going to do. This thing just fell off. The coloring is okay, and so we'll pick some black walnuts. Okay, so we're going to walk over to the black walnut tree here and harvest some black walnuts. And that's what we'll be doing today. I might have to walk in this little bit of vegetation to get it. All those pepper plants that are grown now, get them out of there. So here's some couple of walnuts. I'm going to pick those ones first. We'll get to work. I put my gloves on. Okay, so I'm going to pick some black walnuts. I'm going to start with this one over there. I got gloves on because black walnuts, when you pick them, and especially if you peel off the skins, will have this like stuff. I mean, it's like a coloring that is really hard to get off. It stays on for weeks. And you see some little black walnuts here growing. That's like tiny little buds. So we're going to start these. And the ones that are soft are the ones that are good. Generally, you can pick these off the ground as well. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these in the bag I have set up here. Here's one right over here. What I do is before I pick them, I squeeze them a little bit and see if they're soft, because that's how you can tell they're good. This one's a little tiny one, but they feel, you can squeeze them, and look at an indentation after you squeeze them, so that's how you know they are good for picking. And it's beginning to rain a little bit right now, so I don't think I'll be able to do this. It's raining today from the hurricane system that is the Gulf of Mexico hitting Louisiana right this very moment. So we're going to pick some more black walnuts before it's raining harder. Here's one here. This one's a little bit discolored. Might be a little rotten. Yeah, that one has bugs all over it. Worms, so I don't want that one. Get rid of that. Find the ones that are good. With these. Just more black walnuts. A bunch more of this tree over here, on this branch. Black walnuts. Bunch over there. There's a batch of 4 of them, all stuck in a bunch. Put them over in the bag in the They have hung up here on by the tree. I'm going to dump them in the bag. And some more black walnuts. I don't really see on the ground that are any good. Here's one that might be good. Because the ones that are on the ground are sometimes good as well, as long as they don't have that eaten up part. That's how bugs get into them. That'll be okay. I break it open and slide out. Whoop. Yeah, this one has maggots on it. I better check these ones out. A lot of them have maggots on them, so they might all be not good. I better open them up and see. Bugs may have gotten to them. This one's okay. I don't see any maggots ones. If you see that black, that's how you suspect they have maggots have gotten to them. So I'll have to look for that black eaten part. Like I said, you don't want to deal with these hands, because if you do it with your bare hands, you're going to get that stain all over your hand. Alright, so let me peel these. Get some more black walnuts. Find the good ones. Like little black, I don't think bugs got into that, but we'll check. There's no maggots on this one. This is good. Some of them are bugs have gotten to them, and some of them haven't. This one might be bugged. Have to skin that one up and see if we can use it or not. Put it in the bag. I just dropped the nut. Well, I can't find the nut in the ground. I got lost in this vegetation. So we're going to open up this one and see if there's maggots on it. If it has maggots on it, you can't use it. And this one is clean. Maggoty. This is a good one. So I can use that nut and put it in the bag. So there's more walnuts. Let's read some more. Because there's a bunch of clump right over here. Looks like it's good. This branch. Little might be a little bit on my reach. Just dropped a couple into the ground, which is okay. A nice clump right here. Down here, this is safe. They're relatively soft. I can push them in. Gotta watch for maggots. This one might be maggoty. Open this and see what it looks like on the inside. I don't see any maggots on it. So this is a good one. This is a good one. No maggots on that one. It's a nice green one. Black walnut picking. Nice good clump right here. It's a nice good clump. No sign of parasites, which is what we're looking for. We want nice clean black walnuts. And then you can make black walnut cookies with them. One might be not good. Okay, because you can squeeze them in, you have a little bit of indentation, that's how they're ready to be picked. That's what we're doing. Another good clump right over here. More that are within reach. A couple of them. That's a little small one. Smaller clump. 3. That one's probably not, yeah, that one has bugs in it. And these ones probably have bugs in it as well. Let's check. Yeah, that one's maggoty, so I can't use that one. And this one might be good. Open this one up and see what it looks like on the inside. And this is good. No parasites on it. So we can use this. This nut. Find some more that are plenty more way up there, but I'm not going to bring out a ladder to get these because they'll fall on the ground anyway. Once they fall on the ground, you got to get them quickly because that's how the bugs get to them. They get really yummy. All right, so that's it for now. And you do with black walnuts, you end up taking off the husk, and then you let them dry for a couple of weeks, and then you can serve them. All right, I think there's one here I can get. I'll bring this branch down and get this one. That's a good one. All right, there you go. Black walnuts. Let's get them in the bag and start cutting up the husk. Okay, so these are the nuts that I picked. And so we're going to get them out of the bag and then have them sorted, and we'll get ready to take the husk off, which is this green stuff. Like I said, you got to put gloves on it because you'll get black stuff all over your hand. It's like a stain, almost like a paint quality type chemical that black walnuts exude. And they have a fairly moderately bland smell, almost pungent. Okay, so here's my black walnut harvest for today. I'm going to take all the husk off, and then we'll have a supply of walnuts and they'll take them, the husk. This is what you'll get, the nut, after you take the husk off. And then what we'll do is put it in the sand and shake it around and try to dry it all off, and then we'll put it in a bucket and see which ones float and see which ones don't. And that's how we'll know the good from the bad ones. All right, so there you go. Let's get them dehusked. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take off the husk of the walnuts, and we're going to put them in the bucket. Put them in this bucket. This will be the nuts that I take the husk off. And I'll put them over here. And I'm going to separate them. Put the nuts in here. So we're going to remove the husk of these walnuts. Put the husk in here for trash. And then we'll separate it and have the nuts ready. So let's get to work. Okay, so what I'm looking for when I take off the husk is I'm looking for parasites and worms on the nuts. And the ones that I've cut up so far, I have not seen any, so which is good. Now this is the husk. I put that in the bucket here, and I'm going to cut the rest of these off, and I'll be looking for worms on the nuts. And like I said, the reason why I don't want to put my hands on these things is because these things, it's like they produce like a stain that's really hard to get off your hand. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to cut these ones up after this and remove the husk from the nut and separate it and put the nut in this bucket. And so I cut these ones up already, so it'll be easy to remove the husk. And these ones still got to do. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I'm looking for, like I said, parasites and worms, and the ones I've picked, I have not seen any. And what I do is, some of the signs of worms will be this like blackness, but this one is good, because as long as because the worms, the parasites will do is, if the husk is soft, they'll come in from the black part of the husk, and that's why they'll feed on that. And fortunately, these ones are not bad. So I got rid of the bad ones. And so after I get these nuts removed from the husk, I will then clean them. I will clean the nut itself, and then I'll put it in a bucket of water and see if they float. If they float, they are no good. If they sink to the bottom, that means the nut is good. And eventually, we'll have enough after the nuts have dried sufficiently after several weeks, and then break the nut, and you'll get the walnut from the inside. As I said, black walnuts are hard shells, and they're not nearly as good as the English walnuts, because they're harder to get out of the shell, but they taste good. And you can make chocolate chip cookies with them, black walnut chocolate chip cookies, and send them to people that you like, which is what I do. All right, so we're going to continue cutting these things up. Like I said, I don't want to touch my hand on these walnuts after I cut them, because like I said, they'll produce a stain, so I had to use my gloves. Unfortunately, with holding a camera, it's hard to turn the camera off and on while in the glove. All right, so we're going to get to work. Okay, so I removed the husk off the walnuts. These are the walnuts that are good. There's a few of them that had worms on it, so I threw those out. So these are the good ones, so I'm going to clean these and throw these husks out. I wonder if there's a purpose for these husks, but I don't know of any, so let's go throw them out. So these are the good walnuts. I'm going to get these cleaned up and then dry them for several weeks. Okay, so we're going to wash these walnuts. Off the walnuts. Okay, so now I'm going to drain out, and then I'm going to put them in a bucket and see which ones float. The floaters will be removed if the floaters aren't any good. And the ones that sink to the ground, sink to the bottom are good. We can dry them. Okay, so we'll do a final cleaning of the walnuts, and then we'll put them in the bucket and see which ones float and see which ones are sink to the bottom. The ones that sink to the bottom are the ones that are good, and they float, throw those ones out. And this will be the first batch of walnuts. I'll probably get some more later on in the year, later on this couple weeks. I think I got them all basically cleaned up, drained out. Put them in a bucket. See if we got floaters, and hopefully we won't have any. So far looking good. I don't see any floaters. Floaters we don't want. There's good news. There's no floaters in the bucket. Well, that's good news. I don't got any floaters. The black walnuts, or the walnuts that we have here, are good. They just need to be dried out. And good. Put them in there. There's two walnuts are floating. So these ones are not good. Yep, those two are the floaters. If you're a floater, can't use them. So these two have to go. That's something different. Yep, those are the two of the floaters. So those ones are getting thrown away. Just throw them away. Alright, so everyone else is good. Another thing that I found was interesting, summertime I threw a walnut seed out in the backyard here in the back of the property, and this watermelon plant has grown this, and there's actually a watermelon forming. You see a watermelon is forming in this thing. And, so let it grow. We have a watermelon. Kind of late in the season, so I don't know if it's going to grow any further because it's fall, and but there's a watermelon growing. All from a seed. Nuts in the Cherokee Tribal Gaming Commission bag that I had. Alright, so we're going to put these nuts in here and dry them up. Okay, the nuts are in the bag. And Gypsy, of course, is barking at the neighbor dog. Gypsy, pop! Okay, so we're going to hang up the nuts and let them dry. Okay, so I got the nuts hanging up. Let them dry. Hope you liked the video.